What's going on, everyone? Welcome. It's been a while. Haven't done this in a long time. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm gonna try some music, but last time I got flagged for some weird copyright that didn't exist and I had to cut out a chunk of the video for no reason. What's going on? What is up? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. What is going on? It's been a while. Ab, when is the last time I even saw you in person, bro? Can't even remember. All right, Marcus, Ryan, Micah, Ben, Vivian. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Let me do that. Okay. So we haven't done this in a long time. I used to do these all the time on my Twitch channel when I was really focused on Twitch. Long story short, it didn't pan out because it was eating up a ton of hours a week and I was getting like nothing for it. But those same guys that let me critique their images were totally fine giving donations to just pretty people out there on the internet for no reason. Anyway, this one is a public, free, for my Discord community image critique. And the way this works is you join my Discord, you hit OK to the rules, you submit your images into the share images for live review channel, and you get one image. You have to be here at the time I pull it up or I don't review it. It can't be anything that'll get me flagged like nude or violent or whatever. And keep in mind, this is just a critique and this is just my opinion on things. But you have to kind of know what you're getting into with the critique, and you have to know who you're being critiqued by in order to understand what type of insights you're getting, the background of that person. Are they an editor? Are they a shooter? Do they even know studio strobe? Are they a natural light person? Do they shoot landscapes? What are they really proficient in? What are they known for? Do you like their work? Is their work, showing a lot of variety or versatility? So for those of you who did submit your images for tonight's critique, thanks so much. Just so you know, pinned to the chat is the Calendly link because I am starting to do private 1v1 image critiques for you guys where it's not just one image, it's multiple images for 30 minutes and we talk in depth about them. So if you are interested in having me look at your work, now you can. There is a fee involved. I'm not going to hide that. This is just some quick plug stuff just to get this out of the way. So over here, you guys can book a slot with me. Some slots have been taken up already, but just follow the instructions right here on the left and you'll be fine. Super easy. And I hope you guys are interested in doing some private 1v1 with me. I've been asked this for years and I stayed away from it for years, but you know, it is what it is. Seth, would you do a homepage portfolio critique on a private session? Sure. If you want to show me your website or your portfolio in some manner, that's on you. Basically, it's like that movie Driver. You've got me for 30 minutes, you know? The only thing I'm not going to do, which has been requested, but it is a rabbit hole I am not looking forward to, is I am not going to do a video call where you guys are like shooting actively or on a set with like your lights going and you're going, what would I, should I? I'm not going to be doing that, guys. I'm sorry. Some people have asked for that. I don't think that's the way I want to do things. So I'll consider it later on, but this is just for finished work review. This is sit down and talk type portfolio review type stuff. So anybody interested in that, hit the Calendly link either on the top of this chat or in the description. Most of you are in my Discord that I see this. So you guys know the deal. If you're watching this on playback, the Discord link is down below in the description. Join it. Bunch of non-toxic photo nerds will help you out with any issues you have. You can talk about gear, talk about your work, talk about things you're worried about as a career. People right now are having discussions about how to get legal documents for releases. I love seeing this type of stuff happen in the Discord. So hopefully you come and join us. And the Discord is 100% free. I am not charging for the Discord. You don't need some premium subscription. I don't know how people are doing that whole thing. I'm not doing it. I'm here to build a community that I'm actually psyched to be a part of, and hopefully you guys are too. That being said, hey, what's going on, Tyler, Marcus? How's everybody doing? That being said, we do have some submissions going on here in the Discord, and I'm going to pull them up as we go along, so hopefully you guys are okay. If you haven't submitted, you still have time. I don't know how many I'm going to get through in this stream. I'm not going to try to go for too long tonight, but we haven't done this in a while. So this is to give you guys an idea of my critique style, my insights. If you don't know who I am, I'm a pro photographer here in New York. You can check out my Instagram at LastXWitness, and you can see all my work right there. If you don't know what I shoot or how I shoot, you got it right there. And if you want, you can just search me on Google or YouTube. I'm on Adorama all the time, and you guys can even see me shooting live. I got nothing to hide. I shoot in front of you guys. I show you my work. I break down everything for you guys. I got nothing to hide, you know? So hopefully you find my insights worthwhile. All right, any questions before I go into this? All right. Once we get going, I'm going all the way, kids. So you let me know what's going on. Oh, by the way, I will now gratefully accept your congratulations, as just before I got on stream, I just beat Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I know. It took me about a month, but I did it, guys. I got through it. Congratulations to me. What a beautiful game if you're playing it. Nice. And now it's on to Street Fighter 6. So let's see what's going on with that. Anyway, let's get into the critique. If you guys are ready to get into tonight's critique, I'm going to need you guys to type ready in the chat. And not only do I want you to type ready, but I want you to type ready and what your main camera that you shoot with is. Are you shooting Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji, Lumix, Pentax? Just let me know in that chat what you're shooting with, just so we have like a little bit of fun with what kind of gear you're using. The gear is like the fun part, so don't get into brand wars on my channel. I will shut you down in 2 seconds. All right. The only thing that can get me to take a break from nullifying I haven't played Diablo 4 yet. I've never really was a Diablo guy. I feel kind of guilty saying that, but I never did the whole dungeon crawl thing. I was never really too much into it. Old school Fallout, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try out Diablo and see what all the hype is on that. All right, seems like a lot of you are ready. Okay, so let me go open the Discord really quick. So again, you have to be here at the time I pull up your image. If you are not here, I do not critique, and the reason that is because, as some of you that know are veterans of my channel, I have a bit of a discussion with you guys. It's not just me spitting out random thoughts here. There's insights to the image that reviewers need as well. We need to, sometimes we're like, did you have this as an option? Was that an option? What would you think about this? Because it's not just my word is the end all. We have to kind of come to a common point of your style and me as a viewer's insights to getting to a place where the image might get to another level, okay? All right, so the first one up, I don't even think he's in this chat. I would have seen him by now, but I'll go back if he's not here, okay? Brad, you in, man? Brad McMillan, I know you're a longtime member of the Discord and this community. Let me know. And if you're not a member of this Discord, this is the Discord. You have rooms for literally everything, every brand, styles of photo, types of gear, situations, even some fun memes, and even the venting room, which you guys love venting out in. You were at my webinar at Adorama. Well, I didn't do a webinar. Do you mean the in-store demo where I shot my mother? Listen to that sentence. No, I photographed my mom's portrait last time. Brad going once. Brad going twice. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate that. That's why your critique is awesome, because you're not trying to duplicate yourself and everyone. It's not up to... There's no... let me just... Before I jump into this, anyone who's trying to inflict their ego and their style into what you should be doing is not helping you as a creator. They are just trying to justify their ego and their existence. You should be hearing insights from other people, taking it and seeing where you can build on it for yourself to still stick to your style. One of those important things you can do as a creator is get your point of view solid, get your style developed, and go hold on to it grim tight. It is up to you to have your voice be your voice. Whether you build an audience, that's another story. You know, sometimes not everyone's going to be into the type of work you're putting out or the style you put out there, but there will be an audience on some level, and you have to be okay with that. Hey, Brad's here. Okay, Brad. Look at this guy with the typical Canadian snowy mountains over here. Look at this. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to open this in the browser because why not? All right. this is first of all, this is a really nice image. Sure, I like that punch of the red. I like the fact that she is mimicking her silhouette to the shape of the mountain. Cool. One thing I think you tried to put into your headspace here, but maybe didn't go all the way, was managing that background in relation to her, right? We always look at backgrounds when we're shooting a subject in environment, and we're wondering if, like, you know, a rod is going through their head, or like something's getting stabbed in there. Here we have that snow cliff going like down her hairline, which isn't bad. It's kind of pointing to her, and I kind of like that. My problem with this is it's kind of feeling a little flat. And what I mean by flat is I just don't feel like I'm getting that dynamic. One of the things that I think you can do is use a little bit of a wider lens and step in a little closer. Let that audience get drawn into the outfit a little bit, not just have it flat forward like that. So if you can get, I don't know what you shot this with, and yeah, you got that soft focus to the background here, and that's nice and all, but I think you should really consider, whoop, what just happened there? I think you should really consider, you know, letting the viewer get a little bit more out of the dynamic of the outfit, her gestures, right? 200 millimeter. Okay, so think of it this way. If you shot this with a little bit more of a, closer to a 50 millimeter or even a 35, you could get a little wider. The dress would be more prominent. You get that flow of the dress. You could kind of waft it into the lens a little bit. And you could have leading lines from, I don't know what you call, those aren't sleeves. I don't know what you would call those, shawls. I don't know, but I am not a fashion guy. I'm sorry. But I think that you could play with those to get some sort of movement to the dress while also creating leading lines for your viewer and get in there. The other thing I would strongly recommend you check out is when you're placing that strobe into an image like this, and if you guys, are you guys still, okay, the chat was dead for a second. One of the things I think you need to keep in mind when you're placing a strobe into a shot like this is either make a choice to let that strobe really dominate that image or kind of make it not exist. Here, we're kind of in the middle here. I can totally tell it's lit, but it's like not giving me that personality of like, you chose this light to have this style, to shape them out and underexpose that background and really make them pop out, right? Or you could have just used it as like a nice soft fill to just break open the shadows that were already there and give us that nice soft light that's already going on in this sky from the heavy cloud, right? So you kind of have to pick one or the other to kind of make that image have an impact. However, it's not a breakable, it doesn't break this image for me. Like it's exposed well, it's nice, but you could have, as a style point for the light, either had it match a little bit more to the ambient or really just drop that background by another stop and really snap her out of that background. Like that mountain's going to be there no matter what, right? About the only thing I think you'd worry about is losing the detail in those trees back there, you know? So I think if you just kind of gave us a little more dynamic to it, it probably would have had more of an impact. Here, it's just got a bit of a flat value, right? It's just got that 2D thing going on. And one of the things that you're fighting here, Brad, is that in this image, what are we connecting with? She's not looking at us. We're not looking at a specific detail on the dress or her necklace. We're not noticing something in the background that's like saying something to us. Right now, we're basically getting this. She's just dressed really nicely outside in a snowy field by some beautiful mountains. So it's kind of like, what is the shot? And to me, I think you could really pull together something that that you'd be surprised. You would honestly be surprised. In fact, let me see if I can pull something that'll. Let me see something here. Is all this fair, Brad? Does this make sense to you? Also, I'm sorry. I have to like walk with this mic a little bit. They are doing 10 tons of like construction and welding stuff right outside my apartment as usual. As usual. Let me see. Okay. So something along. Let me see. Open. Can I open this in a visit? Not to put it up there, but like, so, oh no, this is not what I wanted to pull up. But you see how Joe is giving us, oh my God. Hang on, guys. I have to make sure my security code here lets me in here. Hang on. It's been a while. I totally forgot that I have to re-sign into Instagram to show you guys something. Not now. Can you pull it up, please? And of course, I lose the image now. Great. Sorry, guys. Okay. Here we go. All right. So you see how Joe's got a red dress and he's got a dynamic background, but he's got a little bit of a wider lens. He's letting us get a little drawn in from the train of the dress. He's got some dynamic forward layer going on with her hand. And he even gives us a nice key light on her face to really shape her and make sure that we cannot get away from who this woman is. The dress is beautiful, but she's really the star. Yes, that's the Great Wall of China, I'm going to say. But it's not fighting for attention with her. It's just giving her the support she needs to be a star here, right? So it kind of, you have to, if you're going to shoot in the environment, it kind of all has to lead up to supporting that main key subject. In this case, it's this girl in this amazing dress. When we look here, we're kind of losing that dynamic. You know what I mean? We're kind of losing that key focus, and we're kind of losing that ability to draw in that viewer. Does that make sense, Brad? Looks like there was a bunch of questions. I apologize, guys. What is going on here? Bounce light, beginner. What would you recommend for a beginner product photographer as far as gear and camera-wise using a Canon T6? Well, it depends on what kind of product you're shooting. Honestly, the best thing you can do when you're shooting product is try to get to a place where you are shooting as clean as possible before you worry about a style. So I would say, even if you're shooting with a Canon T6 or whatever, it doesn't matter what you're shooting with, try to get that image to look clean by putting it on a nice white background that you can light, even something with some plexi to make it reflective. There's actually 2 product shot videos on my Instagram. If you guys want, go check it out. You can see how I light product really quick and easy with like just 1 light or 2 lights. So I would say, don't worry so much about what gear you have. Worry about what that product is going to look like. Because remember, the key to product photography is to relay what that product is and to help people want to buy it, right? So that's the whole thing. What's so great about it? Just like what's so interesting about this person I'm shooting a portrait of. With product photography, you're basically going to go, hey, this is what's so cool about it. Here's some details you should know. Here's how the whole thing looks so you're not misled by something that's not really happening here, and you're going to want this thing. So try to work on getting it clean looking as an image before you start worrying about the gear, because you might find out, oh, you know, it might help if I got this type of light. Oh, if I got these stands to drape a background this way. Like, that's where the gear comes into play, is what aren't you able to do with what you have? So try to do something first and then decide, well, what is it that I can't do with what I have? Okay, I hope that's fair. Okay. For those who use a light outdoors, how do you make sure your lights are stable? Weight. You got to put weight on those stands, either your camera bags, sandbags. You've watched videos of me where I have a really crazy habit of pulling a light closer to me and standing on, like, putting my foot on the spreader of the legs, which is not great. You can bend that and you have a junk stand after that. But I have a habit of doing it. It's a bad habit, but it is something that I'm prone to doing. I'm also a bit more of a wide angle lens type photographer. Like I said, I go wide, I step in close. So I tend to pull my lights closer to me, step in close all together, and stand on the lens, stand on the stand just a little bit. Not really stand up, but just put 1 foot down on to keep it stable. All right. Okay. No, absolutely, Natasha. And thank you for being part of this channel. I can't have a channel unless you guys are here. So I'm here to help you guys. All right. I don't have any sponsors. I don't charge you guys for anything except this 1v1 video call critique session that I'm putting out there right now. So I really am trying to build a community that's just supportive, that makes you guys want to shoot, makes me not give up on life because there's still good people in this industry, things like that. So thank you for being part of it. I appreciate it. All right, Brad, is that cool? Does all that sink in? All that makes sense? Capiche? Capiche? Everybody go with that? I think that's fair. When you look at the image, you can tell, like, there was just a few things that we could play with elementally to really make it come at you and make you want to look at it, really draw on the viewer, make it memorable, right? I mean, it's a snappy red dress, fish in a barrel, right? Cool. Now elevate it. That's really what it is. That's like saying like, oh, this zombie's so creepy looking. Cool, but let's make it believable. Let's make someone really want to connect with it. Make me want to connect with this dress. Make me want to know what this woman looks like. Make me realize what it's like to be out there in that snowy field and that really soft feel to that light. Let me be there with her. Let me be in that environment. Let me understand that atmosphere visually. And that's where our part comes in, right? So that's what I'm going to say. All right. Wow. I'm already losing my voice. And what's that one image in? All right. Moving on, guys. Moving on. We good? Everyone give me a ready if you're ready for the next one. Type ready in the chat. I just want to know you guys are alive. Are you alive? All right. Let's take a look here. Optotype, are you in the chat? Optotype. 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 And I know that some of you guys have different names in the Discord than you do on here. So if I'm missing you by your name, I apologize. Just let me know it's you. Is Patrick, is that you? Are you Optotype, Patrick? Boom, 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 boom. Captain Black, I think we have an image from you later on. All right, Optotype going once. Optotype going twice. Okay, that's Patrick. Okay. So this is Optotype. Let's take a look. Got some black and white architecture going on here. Let's take a look. Okay. Let me take this down and let me go to... Let me see if I can download this really quick. Save image as... And I'm just going to save the downloads. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to drag it into Photoshop. Okay, so off the bat, little on the flat side, which is okay if you want that type of grading. That's up to you. You guys know I am a big fan of a little bit of contrast in there to like really make it snap. So usually I want to have details in my highlights and details in my blacks, but I do want to have an anchor point of a darker black so that I can really harness down someone's eye on this, okay? Now, one of the things that's happening here is it's a little lopsided. I know that this might seem like it is over here. Can I get a pointer? Nope. Over here, it might seem like this is straight to you, but it kind of isn't, because this line right here is going to make our viewer, this baseline of this brick road is going to make our viewer already feel like it's a little off. So when you have a straight line in anything that's going across like this, you kind of got to go for that. Even if it makes something a little more wonky. In fact, if you guys just saw my 14mm f1.4 video for the Sigma lens on Adorama, you'll see that I shot the 9/11 Memorial, and I was actually having some trouble with that. I'm sorry, the rows in the 9/11 Memorial. You'll actually see that there's a building straight, but then the marble is all this way. So I had to really kind of make a Sophie's choice there of like what is going to be straight. Here, I think this line is more important than you think. So if I go to, I don't even know how to rotate something, but if I were to straighten this out just a hair, nope, that's not even straight. Don't go by me. I'm awful. I don't know what I'm doing, gentlemen. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go to the crop again. And that, nope, too much. Is that straighter? That's not straight either. I think you got to kind of find the middle ground balance on this, even if it means just cutting down the amount of that foreground to begin with. You know, you need a little bit of it, but not all of it. The other thing I'm going to say is, why am I looking at this, right? Is it the juxtaposition of the size, the fact that this is existing in between these two buildings? Is this some historic building that just seems to be surviving the times and being built around by these modern buildings? I don't know. I think there's a more of a story to be told here. But for the most part, if you threw this image at somebody, they might just be like, well, what am I looking at here and why? So I think we have to find the element. I don't know what this building is. I don't know why I'm doing this. Would perhaps make sense to a mild retouch distortion on the edge, as it's clearly not supposed to be the primary subject. I mean, you guys can do your distortion controls as the way I look at distortion is kind of the same way I look at retouching. You have to have your own gauge for how much is too much. And sometimes it's the lens that is going to distort no matter what, because that's the nature of that glass. This is why we use certain lenses, because of the characteristics. So Patrick is saying, I'm trying to learn how to use my wide angle lens. Well, I'd say if you're trying to use a wide angle, for me, I don't think I need all of this building, right? I think if I wanted to, if you were to get in there a little bit closer, right? Let me see. Original ratio. If you were to get in there a little bit closer and just show me the mass scale of the height of these buildings, I'm not 100% sure I need to see all that extra, right? So look, this is where you had it. Here's where I'm putting it. See how much more we're dialed into what you're trying to show is the fact that this building is just so much smaller than what it's sandwiched between. So when you have this, where you started, where I'm ending. Oh, let me take this off. I'm sorry, guys. Where I'm ending, like, you get it. It's a little. Whoa, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Hey, whoa. Why can't I work Photoshop, guys? Why is it never-ending battle for me? See the difference in, like, keeping our viewer into, we're just funneling their point of view into what you're trying to show. I don't know if that's what you're trying to show. To me, that's what this image was, is there's this building that's sitting between these other two. Why? Is it a size difference? Possibly, right? And then just giving that contrast, that little bit of kick to show just how straight all these architectural moldings and lines and things that design-wise are in there, it kind of makes sense. Does that help out at all, Patrick? It's tough when you don't know the context of these buildings. If this was a body of work where I saw multiple buildings in a certain time period, then it starts making sense. But as a solo image, it's a little tough to kind of determine what you're trying to show here, you know? Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, baby. So, I mean, even look at the difference in that contrast. Look at that. Seeing here how, like, murky it is over here in the middle. Now we do a little bit. Look how much, boom, snap. So the story is the little house between those big buildings. So let those buildings just seem so big, they don't even fit in the frame. Let those buildings feel like the two big bouncers that are right next to this tiny rock star that needs their protection. Let them have a personality of like two big brothers that are got their little brother in between them right there. You know, let them play like that. Sometimes it's good to leave things to imagination and let your brain fill in the blank. I agree with you, Seth. Yeah, you kind of remember the first decision you make as a photographer after you have the camera in your hand, the lens you put on there, the first thing when you put that camera to your face, the first thing you're making a decision on is what of the world am I cropping out for this frame? Because you are not going to shoot the entire world. You're not going to get the entire thing you're looking at. You're not going to get. And yeah, 360 cameras, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. The first thing you do is crop. So what don't we need, and what can I let the viewer participate in to fill in that blank? And that's when you start getting images that connect with people, because you took them almost all the way there and then they got to be part of it, right? You just want to get them. It's like, just like when I teach you guys about the narrative and doing cinematic photos and doing those stills that let people make the story for themselves. You just give them about 85% and then let them fill in that 15%. Let them go, oh, that's what this is that. But let them have their own narrative just enough to make it theirs, but make sure you drive it into an area that they can go have fun with. Drive them into that playground, get them into that sandbox, let them build that sandcastle. But, you know, give them that sand, you know? So here, I think you don't need to see all that extra building here, all this. I just don't think you need it, man. You know? It doesn't come off as, oh, look at how big these things are. Here, it's like, yo, it's symmetrically pleasing. It's got that repetition of line. It could go on forever, those buildings. We don't know, you know? Maybe a little bit with what's in here in the middle. But let it just go. Let it just fly up, all right? And that's pretty much it. I hope that was that helpful, Patrick. Hey, what's up, Mike Way? 80, how you doing? I hate when you use camera straightening functions and it comes out terrible due to uneven building function and structures. Yeah, but sometimes the uneven building is part of that story. That's like saying like, oh man, I got to retouch all these scars off someone's face. Do you? Because if I met that person, I would see those scars, wouldn't I? So it's not like a zit that goes away. So if a building has a little bit of wonk to it, maybe that's part of the story. Maybe that says, hey, this is built on some uneven ground. Hey, this is an old building that's settled after 100 years. I don't know. But you got to kind of give it some personification, letting that building be its persona, you know? So instead of fighting against the flaws, sometimes we have to kind of lean into them and embrace and show why those flaws exist and why they deserve to be, you know, documented and observed, you know? So that's the way I've always been that way, you know. I mean, you're talking to a guy that photographed Marissa's scar on her forehead, and everyone will retouch the hell out of that. But I believe in it. I met this girl this year that has a scar right across her face like this, and I thought it was stunning. It's so beautiful. Maybe one day I'll photograph her if I get to LA. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Thank you so much, Patrick. Everybody, rain of emotes in the chat for Patrick and Brad for submitting. Come on, give them a round of applause. You know, is this helpful so far? Is this helpful to everybody so far? Let me know in the chat. Whew, man, I forgot how much work these are. Wow, jeez, it's crazy how much work it takes to just talk and get all these. And keep in mind, I'm looking at your images. Like, for first time, right? This is exactly how the world is going to view your images. They're not going to have a second to pre-see the image and then come up with thoughts. And no, they're going to scroll on their phone one day and boom, there's your image. They're going to go to a gallery one day and boom, there it is on the wall. So I have to take these images like by surprise. I have to get first impressions right away. I have to see what gets past the line of connection for me right away. What's up, all NYC? So I hope that makes sense. Also, guys, if you're watching and this is helping you guys out, don't forget to hit like. It really helps out this channel and this video. I see that we got about 40 viewers, only 20 likes. So I appreciate if you guys get a like. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and the bell so you get notified when I do these and more videos and blah, 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 blah. YouTube, yeah. Also, if you guys are interested, I'm sorry to do this to you again, but if you guys are interested, I am offering 1v1 private critique sessions. So you guys can have a video call with me, show me some of your work, I'll give you some insights, 30-minute slots. There is a fee. You can book it yourself. So if you're interested, link is down below in the description or pinned to the top of this chat. Let me know if you guys want to schedule a slot with me. I would love to see your work, and hopefully you can, you know, get something out of my insights and feedback. All right, let's go to beep, 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 beep. The next one is Jaded Writer, Marcus. I guess that's Marcus. Marcus in the chat. Are you still here, bud? The pizza box reflector is still in beta at the time of streaming. I'm still working on it. There's a few things I want to change, and it sounds crazy, but I just want it to be the reflector that I know it can be, you know? So hold tight on that. All right, Marcus is here. Marcus Elliott. Let's open this in the browser. Okay. All right. Marcus with the street shots as usual. Super shallow as usual, this guy. Black and white this time, man. It's some really stark black and white. The only thing, you know what I'm going to say to this, which is what I usually say to you. Whoa, my leg just fell asleep so bad. Whoa. All right, I'm going to stand up for this one, guys. I'm sorry. Man, my leg is in pain. My leg is in pain. All right, I'm going to save this image. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to open it up in the Photoshop. Yeah. Let me open it up in the Photoshop. Let's go to the Photoshop. Let's go over here. Yep, crop, buddy. So here we have a very center weighted image, right? Our guy is staring straight at us, right through us, and it's dead center. And usually you kind of want to play with that use of space. This, to me, doesn't need to be this. Let me show you. Just a simple taking down. gives us, check this out, Jade, you're going to freak out. It gives us just that forward motion like we're next to him and we're about to cross the street with him, right? We don't need that dead space. We want to have the forward motion of this person here with the headphones. They look like they're moving. He's waiting to move. Everyone else is walking, but he's staring at us. Why? I want that feeling of being on a city corner and jockeying for position, and that's what it gives me when I get a little bit more of that fat cut out of the image here, you know? Also, if you notice, this orb right here is pretty distracting. I know it's bokeh and we all go, yay, bokeh. Look at the difference in how much more connected you get to the subject here. Just by moving them over a little bit. Rule of thirds just a little bit, right? Look at the difference. Really makes a difference, right? We feel the motion of where this crowd is going, where he's going, where we are. I will say I do like the black and white grade though. His skin tone looks really nice. We have detail in the white, which is great. I mean, look at that. A white shirt, and we're still looking at, I'm looking at a seam right here. Can you guys see that on stream? I don't even know if I'm looking at a hemline here on a white shirt. Very nice exposure. Very nice tonality. I really like it. It's got some nice crisp blacks. I'm looking at the tie, the pattern on the tie. I'm all in there. I'm like, man, that shirt, look at this. Look how pressed his shirt is. I get this story of like how meticulous this guy dresses himself, or maybe this guy had an important interview today and this is the only time he gets himself dressed, so he didn't know how to press his shirt and that's what it came out as. Who knows? Who knows? But I get to make up these stories, which means I am connected to this image, which means I'm a viewer that will remember this shot, will have an experience with this image. This shot won't just be another one I'm just scrolling past for a second. This guy's really staring through my soul, and why, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Is all this fair game? Everybody makes sense? Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, baby. Is this fair, Marcus? I mean, to be fair, with Marcus's obsession with bokeh, it kind of really works well for street photography when you're doing portraits like this. I mean, I don't need to see that this is the cross the street button thing, right? I don't need to know that that's what that is, but I know it's that, but it's not distracting. I'm not fighting for a connected point. If she was just as sharp as him, we would be having a hard time figuring out where we want to connect, right? We would have a very hard time going, what's the real subject here? This is a part, this is a point where bokeh, shallow depth of field, actually is used as a tool rather than a gimmick. This is isolating our subject in a busy environment to really nail down the point of subject. Who it is, what it is, why do you, where does Marcus want his viewer to pay attention? Right there on my man's eyes right here. Right there on this guy's shaped face. It's great light. It's a nice moment. It's a city scene without being bogged down by the distraction of the city scene. This is proper use of shallow depth of field. When everybody shoots everything blitzed wide open because they bought a lens and go, yay. It's like, so you bought a lens. That's what it's like, you know? Yeah, Manhattan is busy. If too much is visible, stuff starts to fight for attention. Exactly. And you want to keep the barrier low for your viewer to get involved and connect with the image. And when you have so much busy stuff, it's like, what? I don't, they're over it. They're over it. They're not even going to look that long, you know? So that's kind of what it is. I really like this image. It's a grab shot, but it's a nice grab shot. The light on his face is real nice. He's shaped really well. The tone is really nice. There's a little bit of a story there, but not too much. There's a feel of motion, where we're going, what's happening. I dig it. I dig it. It also has this feeling of stopped in the middle of chaos, right? This person on the left is trying to whiz by him, but this guy's stopped. So that city's still active. I mean, if there was like a car over here, it would have been even more motion going on. Well, this guy's just stopped for that moment to connect with Marcus, who's shooting him. But because we're not Marcus, he's connecting with us, the viewer. This guy's staring right through us. You know, it's nice. It's real nice. I dig it, Marcus. Nice job. Well done. There was a question in the chat. Can you combine flash with LED light? Yes, but the problem you're going to run into is the light that you're going to create has to be all within the same exposure. LED lights aren't going to have as much power as flash, so you're going to be at the mercy of the power of the LED light. So if that LED light is a little too dim and you have to make your ISO 400, fine, but that means you're dialing that flash power down to work along with the LED. You're always at the mercy of your lowest powered light to some regard, unless you're just using it as like a fill or something accent wise. If you're going to mix in different light sources, the lowest power of those light sources is really going to dictate your exposure and the rest of your ability to manage those lights. Otherwise, if you're exposing for the higher powered strobe, then you're going to cancel out the LED, just like you would cancel out the ambient light when you shoot a black frame when you start photographing in a studio. You guys know the black frame. If you're not familiar with that, check out any of my live demos on this channel. Okay, guys? Whew, man, I forgot how much work this is. I gotta tell you, I feel like I am out of shape for content creating here, for streaming. I'm out of shape for streaming. Everybody give Marcus a rain of emoji in the chat to give him a nice round of applause. All right, let's see who else we got. Wow, we're 45 minutes deep into this already? Man. See what I'm saying? Those half-hour slots that you book with me they're gonna go, man. Don't forget, 30-minute slots are available, 1v1 calls. There is a fee. The link is in the description. Link is in the chat. So do me a favor and check that out. Consider doing a 1v1 private call with me for image reviews where we look at multiple images from you, your body of work, your path as a creator as a whole, okay? So if you're appreciating any of my insights, imagine a more in-depth version of this with more attention to a broader look of your body of work. So consider booking a 1v1 slot with me, guys. Sorry, I got to make this one kind of sales pitchy, but I'm really struggling with what I'm doing with this channel and why. And quite frankly, this channel has been costing me a lot of money over the years. So just trying to find something to offset that. And if it means doing a video call with you guys, then let's do it. Let's do it, guys. All right. Next up, let's take a look. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I lost my Discord. I have no idea how to say this name. SG Pezluch. I think I saw you in the chat. SG Pezluch. Are you in the chat? Okay, Steven. I'm just gonna call you Steven. Okay. Just gonna call you Steven, man. All right, Steven. This is your life. No, this is yours. All right, let's open this in the browser really quick. Okay. First of all, first impressions, I really like the tones. It's really beautiful. I have that like rusty chocolate mixed in with that sea foamy punch, I really like the warm and cool tone juxtaposing a little bit here. I can see that you put a little warm tone rim light to her, and that's nice. One of the things I would have liked on this image is just a little bit of breathing room. Just a little bit of breathing room. I mean, if you're going to put her towards the edge like this, then give me some good negative space for some reason. Actually, let's throw this into Photoshop and mess around for a second. Not that this is the way you edit, but you know what I'm going to do, guys. You guys know the deal by now. Where is it? Here, I think. Nope, that's not you. That's a bunch of buildings. Hang on. It's a nice image overall. I do like it. Let's talk about this, though. All right. So now, I'm kind of wondering, if you're going to give me the midriff and the hip bone, all that, let me see the rest of the hand here. Give me some breathing room. You know what I'm saying? But if you are going to put her to one side of the frame, which is nice because she has this S curve going on, right? We have her arch in the back over here. Really cool. I mean, I'm even going to check this out. I'm going to do this John Madden style. Let's pick a loud color here. Let's pick a pink. I'm going to do this John Madden style here. I really like this flow, right? I really like that, really nice. And it has that like pushing forward feel, right? So then give me some negative here, you know? Just giving her some breathing room on this side. Control Z that. Just let me see what happens here. Image, canvas size, width. I'm gonna give it I don't know, 90. I guess. Okay, so now imagine. Let's do. Keep in mind, guys, I don't know how to use Photoshop, so deal with it, and I don't care. I don't care. We're gonna do this, and I'm going to fill in this. Oh, I can't fill that in. See how we get that breathing room just a little bit, right? So now, Control Z, I'm gonna do this. I'll do that. Actually, the right way to probably do this is probably do this. Control C, Control V, Control T, and then just stretch it. Boom, look at that. Whoop, nope, come on, stop. Yeah. So you see, like, just giving her that feel of, look, she's kind of holding herself. So give me that vast space feel that makes me feel like she's holding herself for being alone. Because when you're that tight, you kind of don't know, right? You kind of don't know what the atmosphere is. And even if it is a studio shot, this background has enough of a tone to it that it could be a wood background. It could be a room somewhere. I kind of dig it. So for me, actually, let me crop this a little bit and give it the forward mode. Oh, stop. Why do I suck at Photoshop, guys? Why do I suck at the Photoshop? Give me a little bit of breathing room over here. And now we have this, like, she's leaning to one. It's a little bit too much for me, a little bit. And then just a little bit more vertically so I can see the rest of her hand. And nice. Now, as far as lighting goes, I like the warm rim light. It gives me this this shape to her while keeping the tone of the scene. The one thing I'm kind of split on is the light hitting her face a little half like that. I get that you're lining the nose out. I tell you what, okay, here's what I would have done. I would have keylit her face solo with a smaller modifier, maybe something like a beauty dish, whatever, right? Even if you like this lighting scheme where you have the light heavy to the far side of her face, I would have kind of let this key light over here fall off. All right, so watch. Let this be, whoop, Control Z. We'll do this again, and I'll do this. Let the key light here fall off to about here, right? Let this fall off to shadow. Don't have this lit, okay? Let the warm rim light come in. All this warm rim light, fantastic, love it. Goes great with her hair. Nice juxtaposition to the tone of the dress. Great, love it. Now this whole area, I would have nailed with a hard light to get those sequins to snap hard, right? Like let them kick real hard. Yeah, they're coming up and it's nice, but I think to elevate the lighting just that much more, let this, let me see if I can do this actually. Can I do this? This is not what I want it to look like, but I'm giving you an idea. Oops, am I dodging? What am I doing here? What happened here? See when it gets dark? Now imagine, can I select just the dress actually? Control L, can I do that? All right, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna do it like this. Out of curiosity, is there something with which you have more familiarity with Photoshop? No, I don't, because I don't edit, guys. I use Capture One, and I mainly do it just to grade, and that's it. You guys know this. I don't edit, and this is proof. If anything, this is proof. All right, let's see if I can do this. Really kick those. What I'm trying to say is give it a little bit more of a contrast to it. Let it fall off, and let that hard light give it more of a contrast. Now you have a key light for her, and you're really letting the dress's personality snap hard, which is kind of nice. It's a beautiful tone, everything like that. But I'm just curious if you separated the lighting to just lighting her face and then lighting the dress separately, what you could have gotten out of it. And you'll see a lot of fashion photographers do it that way. Because keep in mind, a lot of the times the outfit is just as important as the model, if not more than so, right? But I know this is an awful job, but you get it, right? Like the highlights of those sequins could really snap. I mean, beautiful, sure, could be something a little bit more, could be something a little bit more, right? Just, or, oh, actually, you know what? Just out of curiosity, I'm just curious. Just out of curiosity. Oh, do a Daniel Norton style with the heavy to the one side thing. Now it's less about the dress, right? Now it's less about the dress. Now it's more about her. See the decisions we make just by framing? Now I really just notice the hair, the movement of the hair more, you know? But I think, is she wearing like a glitter? Because the glitter matching the outfit, all that stuff, you got to keep that in mind, you know? If you want to go even crazier, if you want to go glammy glam, you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. You want to go super glam? If you have somebody wearing sequins or like a chopped up mirror or something like that, you see this background behind me? Imagine if that background was like a disco ball of just sequin reflecting. You could put a speed light right into her lower back and let it snap off into the background and give a glitter effect. Gavin Hoey actually has a video on this, I think, but it's a cheap old trick that a lot of people use. And I always see people at Comic-Con dressed in like sequins or these like mirror dresses, and no one does it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, use this. They're tiny mirrors. Let that junk bounce. You need a hard light. You need a very pointed beam. So you want to zoom that head in and you want to just nail it and let that light just rip from behind her. Off her dress into the background and just let the sequins just go bananas all over the place. It's a really, really cool effect. Actually, I wonder if I can find it. Let's see if I can find this on Gavin Hoey. I have no idea how to spell sequin, apparently. Yep, here it is. Boom, I'm awesome, guys. See that effect? Oh, whoops. See that effect? That's what I'm talking about. So he is just putting a light behind her and letting the dress become a light source. So really cool, right? Gives you a textured background. I like the feel of yours. It's more somber. It's more downplayed, which I like. But if you wanted to go bananas, you could do something like that. This is a very old trick. Everybody's done it. But every now and then, it's called for, you know? Every now and then, you know? Actually, how old is this video? This video is from 5 years ago, guys. Video is from 5 years ago. So... But it's an option, right? So imagine this background gets broken up by that blue-colored sequin reflecting, right? In fact, oh, you ready? Oh, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. Oh, you're not ready. Put a gel the same color as her dress on the speed light and let it kick onto the background and really mix that warm, rusty chocolate tone with the sea foamy color of the dress and make an entire atmosphere. Oh, I'm too good. I'm too good. I'm too good. I am too good. This would make a next level shot. You know, nice shot, next level shot. Depends on how stylized you want to go. Not everything needs 10 tons of lights and all these effects. So, yeah, just a speed light with a gel that is similar tone of that dress, pumping into her dress, reflecting off that color reflected into the shape of the sequins in the background, and then in between those sequins is that that brown chocolate tone, yeah, totally, man. And don't forget, her hair will be, you know, a nice contrast from that bluish tone also. It won't meld into the background. God damn, that, man, that, yo, what, nothing? You guys don't think that's a good idea? Come on, man. Come on. Are you guys not entertained? Are you not entertained? Come on. You guys are killing me. Killing me. I'm doing the stream for like, what, 40 people? No one even cares? Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. So... all right. Was that good, Steven? Did that work out for you? And just so you know, you don't need someone in a sequin dress to do this. You can get just some cheap sequin fabric from a craft store and just bang a light into it and get the same effect. It's a disco ball, guys. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Oh, is there a huge delay going on? I'm on low latency. I didn't want to do ultra low latency because then I lose quality of the video, and we're looking at images here, you know? All right. So, Steve, thanks so much for... Oh, Steve, if she made that dress, if she made this dress, she would love to see it used like that, I bet. I'm sure. So, maybe give it a shot. See what happens. You know, if you still... if she's still around and still down to shoot with you and she still has that dress, maybe give it another shot. See if you like it. Or you could be like, Seth, none of that worked. It's garbage. You suck. Get away from me. And that's welcome as well. All right. All right. Moving on. We're already an hour deep. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go here, guys. I got an early morning tomorrow. Not that like 8 o'clock at night is late, but, you know. You know. All right. Just a reminder, guys, if you've been into this critique, you can schedule a 1v1 video call with me, 30-minute time slots where I review your work live, not recorded, and we talk about your work more than just one image and your path as a creator. So check out the link in the description or pinned to the top of this chat, and schedule your slot with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of your work, all right? All right. All right. All right. Oh, something's wrong here, actually. Wait, why is the 11th? Something's wrong here. I gotta check that. Anyway, I will fix that, but actually, let me just double check that right now, believe it or not. Really, really quick. Once 6 p.m. rolls around, I'm already complaining about Monday. Oh, stop it. You kids. You kids. So, wait a second. You're only able to schedule one... What? Okay, I messed up Calendly, and apparently my time slot has turned into not working here. I'm going to have to make a whole lot of adjustments when I get off of here. Sorry, guys. So right now, let me see what happens when I click on this, actually. I know I'm live, but whatever. Yeah, see, the rest of... Wait, none of these are the right times. What is happening here? Huh. Okay, something went wrong here, but... Oh, wait, no, that makes sense, because we are on the 11th, and that's why you can't schedule it, because... Got it. My fault. My fault, guys. So we're streaming on the 11th. I'm like, why can't I pick the 11th? Because the 11th is happening right now. That's why. I'm an idiot. I apologize. I swear I have it together somewhere. Somewhere in my game I have this together. All right. When are you going to be at Adorama again for more tips? End of this month, possibly, if not next month. Just so you know, I am in the process of building the brand new live event space at Adorama. So I'm trying to get that done with before we do any more of those, so that I don't have to like build it and break it down. So if you're in New York, keep watch on Adorama. We're going to be doing live events more often and actually have the event space back and stream from the event space. So stick around. All right. What do I got next? Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Captain Black, you are up. Are you ready, Captain Black? Are you ready? Are you ready? This is your image. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Let's download this just in case. And let me go over to here. Pull up over here. Hey, Kathy. Been a while. How are you? Kathy from Shutterfest, right? Am I right? Is that who I'm thinking of? Shutterfest, in fact, was one of those places that I saw a girl wearing a mirror dress and they didn't do that trick. And I went up to a guy and I was like, hey, do you mind if I see what kind of shots you're getting? He's like, I'm still working it out. I'm still working it out. And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to see if you would be into doing something different. And he just got super like, oh, I'm not ready. I was like, yo, chill out. But it would have been awesome if this guy did that trick with the light and bounced into the back of the dress like that. So that being said, let's go into Photoshop. Okay, Captain Black, this is your image. All right, so, okay, few things. One, it's very, very, yes, Micah, let's give a round of emojis and claps for Steven's image with the turquoise dress or seafoam green or whatever. With this image, I feel like one, I can tell we're shot against a backdrop with that shadow coming down, right? Two, it's very flat, being that so much of it is in focus, even though there should be something like a layered feel to it, meaning maybe get some of those cherry blossoms closer to the lens so we're working through them a little bit. Maybe get them behind her a little bit more so that we have at least a front, a middle, and a background, a foreground, subject. So we have this, you can really play with this. Because right now what I'm looking at is very plastic looking leaves right here. Very plastic looking, right? And then I'm looking at basically a flat lighting going on here. So if you're going to go this far with props, really push it. Really try to see what you can do to get things to stand out and pop. One of the things that's kind of driving me nuts is we're losing the tips of her fingers here. So maybe if she was grabbing the chair, give me a little bit something here. But what I would have liked is to see some of these, like if I took this, right? Let's say I took the, I'm so bad at this, dude. I'm so bad at the Photoshop. Let's say I took this, right? Control C, Control V, Control T. Let's say I took this, right? And now it's like in the foreground, out of focus. And we're just like working through it to see her a little bit, right? Now we're kind of in an environment. You know what I mean? Now we're working through it. Now you're giving the viewer something to kind of do and get through. And then you have some over here, right? You go with the ones back here. Oh, God, I'm so bad at this, dude. Control C, Control V, Control T. No. Control C, Control V, Control T. And then these get smaller behind her, right? And now we're getting, like, depth. Look at that. Look at that right there. Right here. Right? Look at that. Now we're kind of got a dynamic feel going on here. It's got a bit of a flat light to it because I think you were trying to light everything in one shot. But imagine she's just turned a little bit to her right, you know? Our left, her right, little bit. Give some shape to those bones, right? Beautiful girl. Let her have that bone structure. Let her hands kind of like mess with the cherry blossoms a little bit, right? I mean, you could really... Let me see if I can do this. Control C. No. Control C, Control V, Control T. Right? And then I go to here. I go to here. Start painting out this stuff. You know? And then... And now we're kind of like, I would even, honestly, I would have even, because I feel like if you're trying to get this whole, like grander scope of things in one shot, like all these cherry blossoms, I feel like you need more of them, first of all. But if not, oh my God, why is this doing this? There we go. Now we're kind of giving that viewer, right? We're trying to get those layers going, right? I mean, this is jank as hell. I get it, but you get what I'm going for here, right? Something nice and soft in the foreground that's not competing with her, not competing with this beautiful girl. Then we got these out of focus. I'll even blur the snot out of these. I'll go over here. And I will just, let me go to V. And let me go to filter. We'll go to blur. We'll do a blah, blah, blur. Oh. See what's happening here? Now we're really making a frame happen, but we're giving our subject the pedestal to put them on, right? Like we're making, and just to nail it even home a little harder is if you're not trying to light the entire scene now, right? Now I can bring up some of those facial features with a key light that'll really shape her out, you know? So if I'm going to shape her out, we can do it like that. A little bit of shape, never hurt nobody. You know, it's a junk job, but you get what I'm saying, right? So when you go from this, right, flat, everything's kind of in the same sharp zone. You got that shadow on the wall. We don't really know why these cherry blossoms are in there. They're obviously propped, you know, it was done on purpose for a shot, but instead of shooting it like we're in like the 80s here, you kind of give it a little bit of a scene and you work through it, you know? Is that fair, Captain Black? I feel like you had an idea in your head and you kind of just were like not sure where to go from there. And even if this was the case, I would have taken them and bunched them together even harder, right? Bunch them together even harder. If you wanted if you wanted that horizontal shot, right? If you wanted it, right? Excuse me. If you wanted that horizontal shot, imagine bunching. Oh, forget all this space over here. Just bunch it together. Really, really fill it up. Just inundate that scene with this texture of the flower, you know, and then light her specifically. So that let the light dictate where the viewer's eye goes. Let them hone in on her face. They don't need to see every flower petal lit. Or if you were to do something like that and you wanted it to, to be about the amount of flowers, then it would have to be a lot of them. So what's the decision here, right? Is it about having a ton of flowers? Is it about just having the branches? If there's about the branches, let us venture through those branches. Give us some depth behind them. I mean, look, you see how I'm not flat against the wall? You see how this is kind of something to look at, and I'm, you know, shaped up to whatever the hell this light is? You see how, like, I'm pulling you into me here? Well, get me there with your viewer, you know, and not to mention, when you look at that background, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything, right? It's not like it's a brick wall that lets me know where she is. It's not like she's in a garden somewhere full of these. She's not surrounded by cherry blossom trees, but at face value, I'm just looking at plastic leaves here, a little bit of a dim lit shot, and a shadow that's looming behind her pretty heavily. So it's kind of like, what is the shot and why? So we got to make those decisions and then go for it. Remember, every decision you make in your frame is a word and a sentence. You are not going to be there to talk for your image. It has to talk for you. This is a language. So now it's like, this is obviously curated, obviously orchestrated, but why? Where are we going for this, right? And if it's just an aesthetic thing, then really hammer down an aesthetic. Go for it. So that's kind of, I know this is like the jankiest look ever, but you see how we got more of a scene here? Even with just this background one, look at that, right? I mean, forget about it. Pull this one down here, maybe. You know? Maybe crop in a little bit more like this. Ah! I kind of like that I'm bad at Photoshop. It proves that I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to retouch. You know, you could really curate each branch to make a geometric shape to really draw us in or keep us there. You know, so that's kind of what I'm going for. If it were me, I'd have done something ridiculously creepy, and I would have had her like shove a bunch of them in her mouth and just have her spit them out while I shoot. Just blah, pop, 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 pop. But then again, I like doing that kind of stuff. Just blah, just let them blah. Or, you know what you could have done? You ready for this? If you wanted this shot, Captain Black, you know what I would have done? I'd have lit a little differently, but I would have just had someone throwing the cherry blossoms up in the air and let them be a floating object in the shot so that you have that cherry blossom. What's the one thing you always see with cherry blossom artwork? Wind, right? So why not give me that feel? Throw a little bit of a fan in there, let her hair go up, and then just whoosh, whoosh. Well, I struggle with Photoshop because I don't know image manipulation. I know how to shoot, son. So does that make sense? Like, fill in some of this emptiness with petals that are all over the place, you know? And keep in mind, when you're throwing the petals, some are going to be right in the lens, right? Some are going to be big. Some are going to be really small, you know, things like that. So you have a bunch of options here. But I think the important thing is, what's the shot and what are we going for? And then go for it. Really go for it. And you already have this shot. So now push it, right? Once you think you got it, push it. As Dan Norton says, keep going till it looks bad. Or as Joe McNally always told me, when you think you got it, that's when you keep shooting. So, you know, so a lot of times, if you guys know, I shoot special effects makeup a lot. When there's something like bloody or something that's a bit of a gimmick or something like that, we'll get the shots really clean, and then because it'll never exist again, it's like throw it against the wall, see what happens. Start ripping some of the prosthetics off like right there, or like just throw a ton of junk on it, like projectile vomit zombie stuff everywhere. Who cares? You're gonna take that makeup off anyway, so just push it, you know. You could easily add flower. Yeah, I guess you could do AI flowers there, or Ben, crazy idea. You ready? You ready? Huh? You guys ready? You ready, Ben? You could just shoot it. You could just be a photographer and just, I don't know, shoot it, just really understand how to create a frame and then not have to think about letting machine finish your job for you, tell your story for you, You could just, I don't know, what's that thing called? Oh, shoot the photo. God. You and your overlords are going to love you. Oh, please finish my work for me. Oh, please, overlord. Oh, T1000, I love you. T1000, make me the best slave, please. You know? Come on. Jerks. Bunch of jerks. Killing me. Killing me, guys. You are absolutely killing me, man. My voice is killing me. All right, we're going on almost an hour and a half here. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm gonna do like one or two more, okay? Sorry. I'm drinking ice water when I should be drinking something hot, but it's really hot here, so I actually have the AC on for the first time this year. It's kind of wild. All right. Looks like Killjoy from the Discord if you're in here. Killjoy from the Discord. Killjoy. Yo, I forgot, Tyler. That's right. You roast your own coffee, man. I totally forgot. You know how long ago that was? That was the beginning of the pandemic, I think, right? That was like 3 years ago, wasn't it? The coffee thing? Just Verb is Killjoy. Okay, Killjoy. Open in browser. Save image as. Save. Okay. Just a quick plug. If you guys do like this, you can schedule your 1v1 video call with me. If you guys want to get your work looked at in a private setting, have a conversation with me, look at more than one image, obviously, and talk about your career path as a creator as a whole. So there is a fee involved. Please check out the link either in the description or at the pinned comment in the chat. All right. Everyone give a nice rain of emojis for Captain Black in the chat. Thank you for submitting. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Let's open this up. Where are you? There you are. Found you. Found you. Found you. Okay. All right. Killjoy. Let's do this. This is your image. Okay. So one of the things that's happening here is one beautiful model. Nice light on her, a little dim, but that's because you were playing a game of which exposure, because if you exposed more for her here, you would have blown out her ankle and probably some of the jacket here, right? Well, when you're using shards of light, it's a very nice tool. AbCSay does it, one of the best ever to do shards of light like this. But my problem with this image is the thing that our eyes go to is the brightest parts usually, right? And not that this is wrong by any means, but if you're, this right here is killing me. This image is not about her shoe, obviously. We're not doing an athletic shoe ad here because I can't even tell you what that shoe looks like. What I can say, though, is this image is definitely more about her. And when you make it more about her, now we're not caring so much about that shard of light not being perfect, right? Perfect is boring. I get it. But here, oh, Ab, you're still in the chat? Now here, what I can do is, whoa. Oh, dude, I'm not a Photoshop guy. I'm really not. Boost this up a little bit. Give her a little bit more of a highlight on the face. And then give her a bit of a dodgy dodge. Now I'm really looking at her beautiful bone structure, nice skin, right? That's way too much of a dodge, actually. Hang on. Now we have a shard of light that's just resting on her shoulder. Now we're like playing with the layers here. We're seeing all that long, beautiful hair. We have this nice elbow gesture to keep us in the frame. There's something weird going on here, though. I don't know if that's because it's a low-res file, but you guys see this weird gray going on over here? I don't know what that's about. Something's going on there. Something weird's going on there. It is a low-res image, though, so there's that. But I really... Now this image, when you're here versus here, big difference. A Murata die, son. Great recommendation on this one. By the way, the crop is smart. Thank you, Ab. I don't know what the gray is, to be honest. It could be because it's a low-res file. It could just be a weird artifacting thing. Could be a weird reflection. I don't know. But I think the light on her was a little underexposed and a little flat. And that's probably... Why is this doing this? And then we can open up her hair a little bit. I'll tell you, Ab, the days I used to do dodging in the darkroom, man. Now it's like a joke. Look at this. All right. I mean, you can even out her arm just a little bit, so it's not just... Yeah, there's something weird going on here. There's a gray all over this. This is where you had it, right? I'm stuck on that shoe. Can't get past it. Now I'm in it with her. I do not like... Actually, I'm going to crop this a little different. I don't like the crop on her wrist. Little rough. Little rough. That's a little bit better. Honestly, it would have been nicer if her hand was in frame a little bit. I would have posed just a little bit, brought that hand in a little bit, but yeah. So we have that shard of light. We have it just resting on her shoulder like she's wearing a freaking toga of light. I dig it. Dumb question is perhaps to reflect the light of her shadow on the gray wall in there. Yeah, I said I think there's some kind of reflection going on, but if it was, it wouldn't be hitting just this elbow here and then neutraling out here. It's almost like there was a black and white filter. Look, it's almost like a weird black and white filter that got like erased or something. It's weird. It's weird. Could be a reflection. We don't know. I think it's just also it's a it's a worked file. Where's Just Verb? Is this fair? Just Verb. So to me, this is a strobe hitting the gray background. Yeah, but gray doesn't reflect gray. Gray is a neutral color. So I don't know what's going on here. That being said, does all this make sense? Oh, actually, I'm wondering if there's another crop here. Because the outfit doesn't matter. I'm wondering if there's... I do like the length of her hair, though. So if we did a little bit of a crop here... I don't know. I don't like the arm. Now I don't like the arm. Is there a square shot in here? Is there a square? Ooh, the square looks nice. I'm liking the square. I'm digging the square. Let's see what happens. If we go back to this, let's do a square. Digging the square, guys. I'm kind of digging it. Even though I like how long her hair is, but for this particular frame, I'm kind of liking the square. What if you make it horizontal? I don't know. What if I make it horizontal? What if I make it horizontal? I don't think we need horizontal, personally. I think the length of her hair is a nice story to tell. Oh, I lost all my dodging and burning. Ah, you get what happened there, though, right? This is the 8512. Nice. Do you have any pointers on making telephoto shots look less flat? What do you mean by flat? Do you mean as far as light goes, or do you mean compressed goes? And what do you mean? What are you shooting with that telephoto lens? I mean, there's endless variables on that. Try this again. Go to this. We'll do a croppity crop. Croppity crop, crop, crop. Crap, 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 crap. Actually, I kind of like that. I like that all of her limbs are kind of like convening. Kind of like it. There's something there. Compressed flat. Well, that's kind of the point of a telephoto lens, is to give you that perspective of compressing. Even though it's not compressing, it's a perspective point. I'm not going to get into that. That's a rabbit hole. But David Bergman has a great video on lens compression being a myth, by the way. Actually, Melanie, if you didn't notice, a lot of these critiques, it's a lot of cropping usually, because there's just so much done just with the edit of the frame itself when we're shooting. There's so much just from the composition, just from the perspective point. It's crazy how important it is just to get your composition feel down. And, you know, there's rules of composition, but it's also amazing when you can break those rules of composition, and the image itself and the subject itself has more weight than that of the laws of composition, you know? That hair reflection on her ankle. Well, I just don't need to see the ankle. I just feel like, look, this versus this, I just feel like now it just looks like there's so much happening in the light that you want me to look here. Well, there's nothing happening there, and I'm losing her from being a little underexposed, honestly. Now look, right? I would even dodge just the neck a little bit, even this out. Right? So it's like there's so much to compete. There's so much to compete with, showing me that there's a light and a dark. There's a light side and there's a shadow side. And naturally our eyes are going to go right to that light, right? But there's nothing here. In fact, if I cropped just the light, actually, if I cropped just the light, this is what the subject is. Well, you're not selling me that jacket. It's blocked by her hair. You're not selling me that shoe because I can't even tell what it is. It's out of focus. It's not the leggings. I don't see any nail polish or jewelry. I don't see a patch that tells me anything. She's not part of a bike club or anything, right? She's not a Hell's Angel, apparently. There's nothing in this image now, right? I can't get back to the... How do you do step back? Control Shift Z? No. Oh well. But you get it, right? So, to me, that's the Shards of Light thing is dope. I like it. Again, if you guys want to see like really amazing use of Shards of Light, Ab Cisse and Daniel Norton do it freaking great. And Dan does a lot of things with like pockets of light, and it's when he gets in that mode, it's pretty nice. You know, Old Man Norton's got some tricks, man. All right, we've been going for an hour and a half. I'm sorry, guys. I think we're gonna leave it there. But if you guys did appreciate these insights, did think I could help you out with your work, please check out the link in the description or pin to this chat and schedule a call. There is a fee, so I'm not hiding that, but I'm just trying to get this channel to be some sort of not costing me money. So you can schedule a call with me. We'll take a look at more than one of your images, body work as a whole, and we will talk about your path as a creator and things like that. 30 minutes goes up pretty fast. This was an hour and a half stream, so think of that. Obviously, this was a little bit more filler. We're just kind of joking around a little bit, but this is kind of the format. So if you guys want, you can schedule a call with me. If not, do me a favor and at least hit like on this video. It sure does help a lot. If you're watching this in playback, hit subscribe so you can become part of this and join the Discord. You can submit your images all the time in the Discord for the entire Discord to give you constructive feedback. No toxic criticism, no egos. Our Discord is chill. People in this chat can attest to it. It's all there for you guys to create a community, and it is 100% 100% free. The Discord is 24/7 help when you need it. It's 24/7 place for you to drop some images to share if you're just psyched on something. It's 24/7 for you guys to just have a resource that will help you keep going forward and elevating, creating. And no one's going to get you anywhere but yourself. So give yourself as many tools as you can and all the resources that you need to just get yourself where you want to be. So you're psyched that you're shooting. You're happy with what you're creating. You're happy with the way you're spending your time on this earth, frankly, okay? All right. If there's any last questions, I'm calling it now. Last questions. But for the most part, guys, thanks so much for joining me. If you want, follow me at LastXWitness on all social. Do I have a thing that shows my social? Of course I don't, because I'm a jerk. Of course I don't. Nope, I don't, because I'm stupid. All right. Whatever. All my links are down below, and you can check out my work on Instagram, yell at me on Twitter, join me here on YouTube, and don't forget to check out my videos on Adorama TV. I've done a lot of product videos and some stuff over there. All right. I think that's where I'll leave it. Maybe we'll do this again. If it does help out the 1v1 calls, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. But thank you guys for joining me. And listen, just keep shooting out there. You know, don't let anyone take it away from you. Don't let it be a point of I don't have the right gear. I don't really know what I'm doing. Just go shoot. You already bought the pixels, kids. Go use them. All right. All right. My name is Seth Miranda, LastXWitness, and be good to each other out there. All right. Later, guys.